Hi, Dr. Saxena here, and we have been talking about all this real concern, and as a kind of things as doctors, we are trying to understand what is going wrong in India. Uh, to begin with, I somehow want to tell things in perspective. This is one thing which is really disturbing us is what's happening with people here. Number one, and yes, are we slightly putting the blame everything to the people and telling them they are not following all do gas ki duri, all this particular stuff. They are not following all protocols and all that. But you, as a medical professional, I believe we need to cross-check ourselves also. Let us know what is missing from our side. It took some time for us to understand. Yes, there is a variant which is really causing this problem. When I talk about variant, I understand that yeah, this is a big thing, and but this B1617 extremely rapidly spreading variant is the thing which is coming into picture now. And yes, I have been on record telling that people should follow all these things. They should follow mask. They should follow they should not congregate at a place and trying to work it out. But having looked into the real things and seeing how things people are getting from bad to worse, I believe it is not just we try to blame everything on the people because they are not following safe practices and all that. It's not like that. Now we have got something like a variant which is, according to WHO, Soumya Swaminathan, it is extremely, according to her, it's extremely rapidly spreading variant, and her role as a kind of WHO scientist in WHO, and being a pediatrician as well as a clinical scientist, I would like to understand. What are the other accelerators? What are the other accelerators which has led to this second wave and this particular thing, which is going from bad to worse. So when we look at that B1617 variant concern and all that, this concern is a mutation. We need to agree that this COVID-19 has changed its form. It has mutated, and once it has mutated, it will it is going to take some of the courses which we should try to understand that. And when we talk about something like mutants, this is really it's a kind of the genome survey. By the genome survey, we are able to know there are a lot of variants which are coming up, and that's the reason we need to have that constant monitoring is always essential. And coming from where I understand is there is a you need some there is a what is a might be the probable reason why this is second wave is being so widespread. We need to really look into these terms, and having and this is one thing. Here the blame games are not going to be anything beneficial. We are as doctors, we used to tell that okay, the government is not doing, government instead of is trying to blame the central government. These are all the things which we have to come out of this particular thing and try to look into a kind of scientific explanation. I don't want to blame the government here. I don't want to blame the kind of this particular stuff. But what is the way forward? I think we need to work on that, because somewhere we have been on a kind of this one, trying to understand, yes, there is a need for all of us to get into the safe zone, I mean to say, is not just by isolating yourself or something like that, because somewhere now we are talking about the airborne kind of stuff. I somewhere, when we tried working on this particular matter, we have been from the day one, we have been always telling it is not just the vaccines which are going to help you. They apart from the vaccines, you need to build your biological terrain, which I mean to say, if you are able to help your immune system work in a proper systematic way by having a good sleep, having a good microbiome, trying to see that your diet and all that is perfect, in the sense you try to lessen the intake of sugar, lessen the refined oil intake, you try to create a healthy microbiome and all that. And I'm very sure we can always tackle this particular thing. But now things appear slightly out of things, and so what are we doing with these current variants? I have seen during in our during this flu season, flu shots and all that, what happens is that, what is the need for every year you need a new flu shot? What is that reason? Because what happens is that the flu changes its form, and the what you have taken in 2018 doesn't work on in 2019. You need to, for 2019 again you need to take a shot. So that is the kind of thing I suggest. I think people are already working on this. This is what is happening with that. We hear something like N440K strain, when we hear some other strain and all that. A common person is absolutely not able to digest all that stuff. I just want to put you some concepts of what we are trying to look into that. And there is something which has to be understood, is called viral priming or super immune response, as well as antibody dependent enhancement. See, I would like to tell you about this antibody defense mechanism. Antibody dependent enhancement is the one thing, and immune responses to pathogens involve many cells and proteins of immune system. Early during the infection, these responses are non-specific, meaning that although they are directed at the pathogen, they are not specific to it. This is called the innate immunity. It's good that we get that innate immunity. Within a few days, the adaptive immunity takes over. This immunity is specific to invading pathogen. So what happens is that adaptive immune response includes antibodies. You start developing your antibodies. The major goal of the antibodies is to bind to the pathogen and prevent it from infecting or entering a cell. Yes, we are on the same page. So antibodies, see, this is the major goal of antibodies, is to bind to pathogen and prevent it from infecting or entering a cell. Antibodies that prevent entry into cells are called neutralizing antibodies. Many vaccines work by inducing neutralizing antibodies. However, not all antibody responses are created equal. It all depends on person to person. If you are not having a good microbiome, if you are having some autoimmune problem, some or the other things and all that, you may not produce that antibody response what is required. So sometimes these antibodies do not prevent cell entry, and on rare occasions may actually increase the ability of virus to enter cells and cause a worsening of disease. This is called antibody dependent enhancement. Why I am talking about this antibody dependent enhancement? There is a reason to that. So this antibody dependent enhancement occurs when the antibody generated during the immune response recognize and bind to the pathogen, but they are unable to prevent the infection. Instead, these antibodies act as a Trojan horse, allowing the pathogen to get into cells and exacerbate the immune response. we had seen this process, which is called ADE, happens with the dengue virus. It happens with the respiratory syncytial virus, and it has happened with measles also. The thing is, I'd not like to go deep into that, but somewhere we are seeing some kind of things which are causing this problems. So again, this is a big kind of subject, but I just want to have a brief idea what is this priming, what is this super priming, and is all about. This in response to this COVID-19 pandemic, scientists all over the world, they are working on. This is the best part is everyone is at kind of thing. So what exactly immunogenicity, the super priming, and some kind of things, I just wanted to slightly maybe it is out of this one context, or not out of context, but I certainly believe there is some process called super priming, and this is called immune enhancement, and it's called pathogenic priming also is possible. So what happens here is somewhere whatever you are working on, that you are trying to put across, you're giving the best kind of things to the mankind, and I absolutely appreciate what the people have done it. But for some, we always had that particular thing. There are exceptions to the rule, and the people who are diabetic, your immune system is not properly. The question here is when we talk about immunity, it is not the deficiency of immunity. We talk about the skewed immunity, which is a disturbed one. So the moment you touch with that peanut, it goes into immune response. It is like a seesaw. The moment you just do it, it goes above over this one. So that disordered, imbalanced immunity is the problem here. You just get into something called hyper-inflammatory response with a small trigger also. And we had seen this people having with allergies and all that. I had seen people how they go to anaphylaxis. It is just a kind of disordered immunity. It's not decreased immunity. Being on a kind of thing, and one of my friend, Dr. Suresh Mane, he was telling he's a pediatrician, and he's talking about during this kind of thing, all his people, the children, he has immunodeficiency kids in a big way he practices, and they say the people who are immune deficient, they have not got into any kind of problems. Most of his patients are immune deficient. Their primary immune deficiency syndromes, they are into it, and they didn't get into problem. So the question comes here is what we are doing with this, how we can deal with this immune enhancement or pathogenic priming. It's a kind of thing we are as a kind of the questions we try to answer with kind of things. I always believe the people who are being having some high inflammatory status from the day one, they let them not be given some kind of trigger which will increase their problem. This trigger can be something, it can be a vaccine, it can be a kind of any kind of medication, or it can be any kind of so what my take is, this particular thing called super priming is one of the this is one of the problems here right now, and we are seeing I certainly tell to the bigger authorities and all that to look into this issue called this things what I am talking about. And I believe that because we have acknowledged, Dr. Swaminathan has told, we have dealing with a mutant strain, this mutant strain, and we are talking about something like big changes in the shape, B1617. We are talking about 144. My take is try to put a curb on this particular thing. Try to see that what this, because this old vaccination, whatever things which have been thing as such, it's not going to work right now. It's giving a false sense of alarm, and for some people who get that problem of the super priming, it's causing a big havoc. And work on this. Try to see that how we can build up a person, give something before in hand, and try to make them robust, try to make them we have developed in integrative medicine. When we worked on the think tank, we have about 250 doctors of all pan India as well as the globe, and we had developed a model where we try to tell them, okay, you want to take a vaccine, take a 10-day preparation course, do some steps, then go for it. Because with that, you will not get into any kind of super priming and all that. So that will help you effectively vaccinate. The results which you get with the vaccine should be, here we are seeing people who are not ready for the vaccine, in the sense they are marasmic, they are not, they are ill-arranged, they have malabsorption and all that. And once we do this procedure, they are not getting a good response with this particular stuff. So with all these things, I believe, yes, I have got this forum of these integrative medicine doctors, and this is what we have to tell from the rooftop. We need to slightly stop blaming people and all that, and try to give them some kind of guidelines how they can work it out. With that, we can thank you.